Good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Jim Russo. And the reason I'm making this video this afternoon is I've had a very exciting year and a relatively exciting week. Also, for those who didn't know, I've spent the last 27 years of my life serving Walmart, the communities and the associates within it. And this week, it unfortunately came to an end. And I wanted to take some time this evening to help bring some clarity to a lot of questions that are being shot my way via text messaging and messengers and all kinds of different inlets for people to ask some questions. I know it was quite a shock. The year has been very exciting, to say the least. And this week, it really came to an abrupt end, if you will. So along the way, I honestly, I'm kind of at a loss for words after what took place at the store a couple days ago. But for those who don't know, again, I spent 27 years of my life serving Walmart and its customers and the associates. And just to kind of preference all this, Walmart as a company is truly an amazing company. It really is. And it has been a great 27 years in so many ways. The last year, however, has brought upon some challenges that I unfortunately wasn't able to overcome, despite my efforts and attempts to get things corrected. About a year ago this month actually, is when the leadership over me began to apply some very different pressure. A lot of things were asked of me, quite frankly, that were questionable from an ethical standpoint, a moral standpoint, that involved myself as well as peers, frankly. And for the first time in 27 years, I took it upon myself to throw a flag on the field and try to draw some attention to that. Last December, January, February, clear through the first part of the year, where the treatment and the level of accountability, level of attention, frequency of visits, and so forth, it was just kind of snowballing along the way. Well, during that time, I did take some time to reach out to some very high-level executives that included my concerns. And this folder is an inch thick of correspondence that went back and forth for quite a while, to the point where I wasn't getting any responses. Basically, it was just being passed around from person to person. So this has really been ongoing for about a year. And for those not in the retail world that follow me and we're friends and heck, family, so forth, there was certainly some question along the way as it related to my appearance in certain places and my ability to respond to messages around other things. The year has been very distracting, and been fighting hard and fierce for things that I felt needed to be righted. So after the first part of the year, I was getting exhausted, and I took some time out to get well. It was wearing on me. The lack of responses and lack of attention I was getting towards what I felt strongly needed some attention, was not getting the attention that it needed. So that being said, I decided to go on a leave of absence to address my mental state. As a result of going through the first half of the year with uncertainty and no answers, I decided it would be best to explore things that I might be able to improve and better prepare myself for being able to handle that sort of pressure, that sort of treatment. How do you react towards it? What's the best course of action to take for me personally? And I took that time. I took 10 weeks. The moment I left that store, I reached out to my primary care physician. I immediately sought help from an employee assistance program, which led me to a psychiatrist that I have visited every week since, to help better position myself and be able to manage my business the best I possibly could, despite the odds. So after 10 weeks, I returned to the store. And prior to me going out, by the way, I should let you know that I reached out to my supervisor, some of which you may know, and I let him know of my intentions. And his only words to me were, when you're out, Walmart time freezes. To which I replied, yes, I understand. And the phone call ended. That was the end of the conversation and the last I had heard of him until I returned. It was a very difficult decision. It was a difficult decision to make, to step back from the store with a store full of associates that really needed guidance and attention. And I had to do it. I had to make that decision. And, as I had stated to my team, I needed to take time away to hopefully return a better version of myself. And for that I did. I returned back 10 weeks later, and I was feeling really, really good about the direction we're headed, and was on track. The store still is ultimately on track in a lot of ways. Certainly some things to work on, and the team continues to do that each and every single day. So a couple months went by really, and my supervisor returned with one of his colleagues or somebody from the same office, and pulled me into my office and asked me if I thought I could do the job. I took a moment to stand up and shut my office door, as the door was wide open and there was associates and my team was standing just outside the door. So I excused myself for a second while I closed the door while we discussed my future with the company. At which point I had told him that he would need to fire me. For me to leave Plaistow, New Hampshire, he was going to need to fire me. And lo and behold, 2 days ago, I was walked through my store, more or less like a criminal. I know in the past we've had shoplifters that have left that building more gracefully than I was able to on Monday. So my supervisor tried to get me to exit the building through the back, through a fire exit, and at which point I had to decline that offer and proceeded to walk through the store, saying goodbye to as many people as I possibly could along the way. It was shameful. It was disgraceful to be treated that way. And really all that was said was, I wish I had better news for you, but we're terminating your employment today. And that was it, and I've spent the last 27 years of my life committed to Walmart and everything that it has believed in, to include the policies that I tried to use to make this stuff right. And unfortunately, that was not the case. There was a lot of events, or a few events in between there that led us to here. None more graceful than the last. I realize that taking that leave of absence, although may have helped with clarity in my head and the way I was leading and taking the store. And in no way did I expect for it to be used as a form of retaliation to be used against me to eventually exit the company as I have this week. So the police presence outside, I have no idea, and so many of you have reached out and sent text messages, and it's hard to explain, I guess, via text and not have things be blurred between the lines, but for some reason they thought police presence was necessary out there. But I wanted you all to be aware and know that in no way, shape, or form was any laws or any of that broken or nothing of that sort. There was absolutely no need for that to be out there, but nonetheless, it was very nice to see the Plaistow Police Department for what could frankly be the last time, at least for me in that capacity. I can say that over the last 27 years, the time spent with Walmart has been as great as I had stated at the beginning. The relationships that I've been able to form with the communities, with associates, all along the way, from as far as Hooksett and Newington all the way down to Salem, Massachusetts, and everywhere in between. But honestly, the last 5-6 years that I've been with the company in Plaistow, New Hampshire, it has been the most exciting and amazing time of my career. Being able to be part of such an amazing team, an outstanding community, building relationships with Plaistow PD, Plaistow Fire, the great people at the town office has been truly amazing, and the support we've been able to provide to the communities and communities around is something I will never forget. Being in this role has also allowed me to really make an impact on the lives of so many associates and customers for that matter, but a lot of our associates have been promoted within, and very proud to see them move through the business the way that they have, and very excited to see where you'll land in the future. But there are so many questions and so many other details in the middle of all this, but it's really a whole lot of red tape and unfortunates, honestly. But one thing's for sure is I miss you guys. It's only been 3 days, but I miss all of you. I wish you really the very best, and I hope that this has cleared up any questions you may have had as it relates to what happened, why I was walked out of the building the way I was with police presence on the outside. I'm sure it looked very bad, and I hope this has helped, bring some clarity to that. I stayed true to myself. I stayed true to the way I wish to lead. I stayed true to all of the correspondence I sent in reference to concerns around leadership and around things that were going on, and quite frankly continue to go on as we move through. But I am still here for you. Most of you still have my number. For those not connected with Walmart, I guess you can expect to see more of me, and I guess I'm behind on a few things that I can get caught up on now. But love you guys very much, friends, family, colleagues, associates. You guys are all very, very amazing, and I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year.